This performance is dedicated to everyone who could not survive COVID-19, to their loved ones. It's dedicated to all the friends we haven't seen since March 2020. These difficult times have brought us a lot of pain, anxiety, stress, and loneliness. But still, we have made time to check in on each other through phone calls or virtually to say, "How are you? I love you. We'll get through this together." For this reason, my performance will be focused on love and its healing powers. Love because it's what we need to show each other the most right now. Love because soon this social distance will get shorter, and our short distance love will make us hug again, kiss again, hold and shake hands again with everyone we love but haven't seen again.
Yo no sé por qué será que a mí tú me gustas tanto. Yo no sé por qué será, ya me estoy enamorando. Yo no sé por qué será que a mí tú me gustas tanto. Yo no sé por qué será, ya me estoy enamorando. Cuando te veo pasar, no digo nada por miedo a que no entiendas que quiero en serio contigo estar. A que no entiendas que quiero, mujer, en serio contigo estar. Yo no sé por qué será que a mí tú me gustas tanto. Yo no sé por qué será, ya me estoy enamorando. Yo no sé por qué será que a mí tú me gustas tanto. Yo no sé por qué será, ya me estoy enamorando.
He was last seen walking alone with her, not fearing her danger. Now the sun from tower to tower, the hammers. He would say to her, flirting and walking with Lady Death, and she would listen. Because yesterday in my verse, I heard the clappings of your bony palms, and you gave eyes to my song and an edge to my tragic life. I will sing to you the flesh you don't have, your missing eyes, the red lips that used to get kisses. Today from here forth, my sweetness, death of mine, oh how good with you alone, with these blowing winds of Biscayne, my Biscayne. He would say to her, from rocks and dreams, and the bay, a sickness of the poet, a fountain where the falling water would cry, and eternally would say the crime was on Biscayne, his Biscayne. He would say to her, from rocks and dreams, and the bay, a sickness of the poet, a fountain where the falling water would cry, and eternally would say the crime was on Biscayne, his Biscayne. I must revisit Manhattan soon. The Brooklyn Bridge awaits, the sound and smoke of the passing cars below me, under me. I must go. I love you. And although I don't recall ever meeting you, my parents, they swear that when I was just 3, I cordoned over through you and into Brooklyn, I went crying. I must revisit Manhattan. And from Brooklyn to Manhattan, I'm going to walk on the Brooklyn Bridge and put all of those myths to a test and see if it's true that whenever you're walking through the middle towers, something bigger than you takes over your mind and you feel like jumping off the Brooklyn Bridge. But first, I must walk into Manhattan Before I get called into disappearance, I must revisit Manhattan, and with all my friends, I will drink heavily and head on back to those gothic exits and entrances and see if it's true. And see if it's true and no one lives to tell the story. Ah, the Brooklyn Bridge. How perfect. So here I am, outside my house, catching some fresh air. And right before my very eyes, quietly, silently, 1,000 flowers are blooming all around me. I run back inside the house and even the floor is blooming. It's so unusual. New, tender, pink, moist. I give her a kiss and a hug, hello, and above her head, in the glass sky, the moon hangs blue and fragrant, as if hanging from some invisible branch. I point at the moon and say, look, our moon. She looks at the moon and smiles, and then she looks at me, and I smile, melting inside. I'm in my room, she's sitting on my bed, I'm on the floor, my arms around her legs, my head in her lap, and we're both quiet. Silence. I can hear my pulse. I feel that everything that defines me in space is melting. That everything that defines me in space is melting, vanishing. I am a crystal dissolving in her lap. I'm getting smaller, larger, wider, off the scale because she's no longer herself. She's the whole universe. And for 1 second, her and my bed and the floor and the blooming flowers of our love shot through the sky and hit the moon with joy. We are one. All that is in me, with me, listening to the beating of my pulse and flying across the blessed second. I tried to tell her in stupid, confused, drowned words that I am a crystal, that is why the door is in me, and that's why I can hear how happy the chair is, but such nonsense comes out when I stop talking. I'm ashamed, I'm embarrassed. So I tell her, I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm talking such nonsense. And then she tells me, Oscar, what makes you think nonsense is bad? If they nurtured and cared for human nonsense the way they did with intelligence throughout the ages, then nonsense would be something of special value. And for nonsense alone, Oscar, for what you did yesterday at the bay, I love you even more. She took my face, all of me, between her palms. She lifted my head up, sweet, sharp, white teeth, and then another smile. In the open space of my room, she was like a bee. She had both honey and a sting. There's a stupid smile in my face. I look into her eyes, now one, now the other, seeing myself in each. I'm tiny, minuscule, locked inside her talking eyes. And then more bees, lips, all the sweet pain of blooming. Inside each of us, there's an invisible metronome that's ticking away quietly. And we never have to look at a clock to know the exact time to within 5 minutes, but our metronomes had stopped. And we didn't know how much time had passed by, and time had passed by. We only had 20 minutes, but minutes, what are they? Nothing but stumpy, short, little things that come so fast and quiet. We were now running. I had so much to tell her, all of myself, about the love letter I had written for her, about the beauty of my childhood, about my first day of elementary school, about my love for writing and for music, about my father and his love for bees. But she was already dressed and kissing me goodbye. For 1 second, the whole length of her body touched me. I wanted to hold on to her tight and never let go. She walks to her car, and I see that familiar movement of hers, my eyes wanting to pop out of my face, following her, begging her to stay. I'm alone now, and all that is left of her is the 100 kisses she left on my body, the print of her feet on my floor, her perfume lingering in my room, and the disappearing wings on my back that slowly bring me back down to the floor, and the hint of the yellow pollen of certain flowers that grow only when she's next to me. That and the questions that stick in me like fish hooks.
Yo no sé por qué será que a mí tú me gustas tanto. Yo no sé por qué será, ya me estoy enamorando. Yo no sé por qué será que a mí tú me gustas tanto. Yo no sé por qué será, ya me estoy enamorando.